Hello everyone, welcome to our class for today with me and Baxter. Baxter is probably going to crunch on either some biscuits or some cork that he's chewed up. And I've got a blanket for today's class, mainly because my legs are so sore because I went to the gym yesterday. So that's what we're going to focus on today. To just gently stretch and wake up the legs if you have sore legs from exercise, or if you just feel like you want a gentle class for the legs, maybe you've been doing a lot of sitting or something like that. So come on down to the floor, finding a nice comfortable position and settle in. When you are there, try to welcome yourself, creating this space that's nourishing, both from the outside. Maybe you cushion up your body or adjust your clothes to make them feel a little bit more comfortable. But also make sure that you feel welcome from the inside, that your mind is glad to be here. Nourishing yourself from the inside. So what that means is generally just remind yourself of how good it is to be here. So that we're not constantly looking for the next thing. The right here and the right now is good. It's good. Maybe thanking your body for all that it does for you. Especially if it's achy, it can be easy to add a slightly negative tone. But if you can, create that sense of gratitude for the body, for your legs, your feet, your whole body. So bend the knees and bring them into your chest. See a few little circles with the knees. Waking up through the legs, through the hip joints. And then just holding on to the legs for a few breaths. This is quite intense for me already. So if it is for you as well, please come back to your breath. Trying to soften. And sometimes if muscles are sore, it can feel hard to relax them. So it can help to soften the muscles around that we may feel like we have a more connection to right now. And it could even be that you start with just relax your eyebrows, your jaw, down your shoulders, arms, the back, the whole torso, and then maybe you can find a bit of softening around the pelvic floor, maybe somewhere down into the buttocks, the legs, maybe the toes and the feet can soften. And then placing the left foot down on the ground and aiming to just have your right leg as the highest point. Doesn't have to be super high. And a few times just pointing your toes up to the ceiling and then draw the toes down. And kind of starting to wake up the muscles in the lower leg. Good. And then a few times doing a little bend and a little straightening in that right knee. And then we're going to cross that right ankle over the left thigh. And here, you can open your arms a little bit, feeling like you're a bit more planted on the floor. Letting your legs rock side to side. Depending on how you are feeling, you can slow the rocking down. And you can also make the rocking much smaller. So really just adjusting this to your own level. Good, and then you can let that rocking become still. Stay as you are. If you feel like you want to, lift that left foot off the floor, maybe holding onto the back of the thigh, but you're still feeling like that right knee is moving away. So you're not holding on the outside of the knee, but rather threading the arm through the gap of the thighs. So we're getting that twist into the hip joints, we're opening the outside of the hip and thigh. And again, maybe soften a little bit. And this may be way too much. I'm actually surprised that it's as comfortable as it is for me. I thought it was going to be too much. But if it is too much, you can either just let go of your hands, you can come onto your tiptoes if you want to, or just keep that foot down. And we just want to ease into the body, not do anything surprising or anything that's going to shock the body, because that's generally when the body goes, oh, and tenses up. And it might become even more painful. From here, bring the right leg into the chest. And as long as your lower back is happy with it, lengthen the left leg out. Again, when you get there, take a few moments to settle in. You're more than welcome to carry on with a bit of movement. Sometimes when we're sore, moving feels really good. And sometimes it feels really not good. So if you prefer to be still here in this position, you're more than welcome to. Good. And from here, we're going to bring the right arm out to the side. Let the right leg cross over the body to the left and twist and bring out your spine. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Good. And then from there, bring that right knee back into your chest. One more little squeeze, and then placing the sole of the right foot down on the ground. Bringing the left leg into the chest. Again, take your time here. Let the body soften. Good. And then lengthen that left leg up in the air. Again, you just want to have the foot as the highest point, so you can be quite bent if that feels better. And then we're going to point the toes up to the ceiling and draw them down, as if you're kind of pressing and depressing a pedal with your foot. So again, just waking up the muscles into the lower leg, then into the ankle, so increasing the blood flow up and down with the help of gravity and the help of our movements. Good. And then a few movements, a little bit of movement into that left knee, making that movement as big or as small as you want to. And then we're going to cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Again, our aim here is to open the left thigh out to the sides. We're getting that stretch to the buttock and the twist inside of the hip. Arms can come out a little bit, and we'll start that rocking motion side to side again. Then you can move faster or slower. You can move in a smaller amount, or you can make the movement much bigger. So seeing what feels good for your body as you wriggle around. So this is one of my favorite movements for the lower back, and also to massage the buttocks. Because we spend so much time sitting on our butts, I think a lot of us do need a bit of a butt massage fairly often. Good. Then you can become still or stay here, or you've got the option to lift that right foot off the floor. It feels a bit tighter on this side for me. Oh. So again, remember, if you want to have the foot on the floor, you can thread your arms through, or you can just keep the foot floated without the hand. Or if you do hold on, just make sure that left knee is still moving out. You're threading the arms through the gap in between the thighs. Holding this position here for another few breaths. Get down with dog, Baxter. And the muddy belly, haven't you? You got a muddy belly. Good. And then from here, place that right foot down if it's not already. Unhook that left foot and bring the knee into your chest. Once again, make sure that your body is happy as you lengthen that right leg out. Taking your time here, let the body settle in. If there's any discomfort or pinching, placing that right foot down on the floor again. And again, if you want movement, that left knee can be swayed side to side. You can also create some gentle movement in the ankles or in your toes. But remember, you don't have to move. That doesn't necessarily improve the situation. So seeing what you want, what feels good for you. Because it's evening here as well. I definitely feel like less movement. But I'll try and remember to remind you that you can move as much as you want to. Bring that left arm out, and we're going to come into our twist, wringing the spine out. Good. Stay here for a few breaths. We're gently filling up the belly with air, but equally emptying that belly out. Good. Bringing that left knee into your chest. Maybe give it one more little squeeze in for good measure. And then release. Placing the left foot down. Bend the right knee and place the right foot down. Realign your hips. And then we're going to roll over onto one side. Make your way up and over all the way into all fours. And here, feel free to use your blanket underneath your knees if you want to, just for a little bit of extra love and support. Big toes together, knees go wide. And sinking your chest down towards the ground. If it feels okay, forehead on the floor. Breathing into your lungs. Feeling how you're filling the lungs up in all directions without adding tension or pressure in your body or mind. Good. From here, we'll roll our way up into all fours. Bring the knees back underneath the hips. Tuck the toes and walk the hands back to front of the knees to stretch the feet for a few moments. Obsessed with this at the moment. It's so good for us to stretch the feet. And especially as we're kind of entering the colder months here, where so many of us wear shoes a lot more of the time, and the shoes are sometimes sturdier, which means that their feet can kind of get stuck in the same position or just feel like we're not really using the muscles in our feet. So their feet can therefore get a bit tired. From here, placing the hands down if they were not already. Roll back into a little froggy ball, and then we're going to lift our bottom up in the air. Letting go the weight of your head, so really feeling how your head and the weight of it is kind of lengthening the spine. Feel free to use a block if the floor feels far away. We're going to keep the heels down, bend one knee, and try to straighten the other. And then doing that side to side. Good, kind of pedaling the legs out, but keeping the heels down. Lovely. And moving the block out the way if you had it. Walking your hands forwards. And place the knees down. Lengthen the right leg behind you. Do a little rock back. And then catapulting that right foot up to the outside of your right hand. Take a few moments here in lizard pose. If you can, sink your hips a bit forwards and down if that feels impossible. Sometimes it helps to come up a little bit, either onto block or just kind of resting on that right knee. Once again, make sure that you are breathing. Good. Place the left hand down on the floor if it wasn't already. Bring the right knee out and bring it back in. Do that a few more times, just getting a bit of movement and blood flow into the right hip joint, sinking the hip forwards if you can, and then back again. And then we'll stay here for a few breaths. Reach your right arm out. If you have the movement, feel free to grab hold of that left foot as well. Otherwise, you don't need to worry about that at all. Good. And then circling that right hand down. Maybe sink the elbow down a bit lower towards the floor, again if you have that option. And then we're going to walk the hands back, lift the front toes. Let's do a little bit of a rock, forwards and backwards here. And then we'll come forwards, plant the palms, step that right leg back. Tuck the toes, walk the hands back, rock back into a little ball shape, lift your bottom up high, give your head a little bit of a shake, rock your arms side to side, and then begin to walk your hands forwards, bringing the knees back down to the ground. From here, I'm going to lengthen the left leg back and do a little rock back and then catapulting forwards to the outside of that left hand. If you can, sink the hips a bit down. You can also come up onto your knee here. Just make sure you're not opening to the side. We're trying to have your hips and your body facing forwards. Just breathing into that right hip, feeling it lengthen, allowing it to lengthen. Good. Plant the right hand down on the floor. Bring the left hand to the left knee. So you push the knee out and try to carry on sinking the hips down. And then bring the knee back in. Pushing that knee out and in and out and in. And then back out again, sinking the hips down. Maybe reach that left arm slightly back. And again, if your mobility allows it, maybe grab hold of that right foot. And then release. Bring yourself back to center. And again, option if you want to bend that left elbow. Bring the elbow a bit lower to the floor to sink a bit more into your hips. And then sending your weight back. Toes pointing up. So a little rock forwards and backwards into the back of the thigh. Lovely. And then we're going to step it back into all fours, tucking the toes, walk the hands back, lift the knees, stay in your froggy pose for a couple of breaths, lengthening out through these calf muscles. Even if you can place the heels on the ground, lean forwards a bit more so they're not quite on the ground to get that length. And then lifting your bottom up again. From here, gonna turn ourselves around and bring the feet wider into a wide-legged stance. And bending into one knee. And come back up again. And then bending into the other. Going side to side. You decide the speed, the rhythm, the depth. You can also do a little bit of hip twisting here. So your knee stays straight, it's just your hips that are rocking. Lovely. And then bringing your feet a bit closer in. Sit your bottom down and bring your legs back out wide. From here, left hand to the inside of the left leg. Right arm sweeps behind you, open the chest. And then reach that right arm up and over your head. And then slowly bring your right hand all the way down and over to the inside of the right leg. Your left arm is going to pull back behind you, opening your chest. And then reaching that left arm over the head. Breathe. And then sweeping that left arm down. We'll stay in our forward fold. Give your head a bit of a shake. Making sure that you're breathing. Maybe roll the shoulders slightly back. Then walking your hands back. Lean into your hands. Bend the knees, feet on the floor but quite wide. Rock the legs side to side. Good, and then let them rock all the way over to one side as you shimmy around into Apanasana, lying on your back with your knees into your chest. Take a few longer exhale, calming down your nervous system. Maybe smile, thanking yourself for taking the time, especially if you are feeling a bit sore, a bit stiff. It can be extra hard to make the time because you'd rather just sit in front of the TV. So well done. Well done to us. And whenever you feel ready, deepen the breath. Allow a bit of movement back into your body. Stretch out as much or as little as your body feels like, and depending on how much you want to wake yourself up. And when you feel ready, come over to one side and up into a seated position. And you can keep your eyes closed. And again, maybe smile, thanking your legs, thanking your head, your heart, and your whole body, palms together, your whole being, and your breath. Namaste. Thank you so much for today, guys. Thank you for getting me moving when I really didn't feel like it. You always feel better afterwards, don't you? Just have to remember that. So I hope that you feel better too as well. Let me know. And I look forward to seeing you all soon.